Hi there, welcome to the Bridge podcast, sharing with you top tips and advice from top employers to help to guide you on your job hunting and career journey. My name is Ajis Ragazi. I've had several roles from digital marketing to broadcasting, and in today's special inaugural episode, I'm here to find out what recruiters agency are looking for the people they're hiring. Today, I also have an exciting news for you. I have Hasna and Aulia, who is a technical recruiter from Hubbedin, Singapore. Hi, Hasna. Hi, Aulia.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks. It's a pleasure to have
Thank
you guys here. I'm sure everyone's going to learn tons from this interview. So, thank you guys so much for joining today. I'm super excited about our podcast interview. So, to get us started, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay.
Do you want to go first, Alia?
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you so much, Aji, for having us today. So, yeah, as Aji just mentioned earlier, we are from Hapin. So, Hapin itself is a recruitment agency based in Singapore. So, we started in 2020. So, basically, what we do is we are matching technical talents to tech companies, ranging from small enterprises to multinational companies. So yeah, it's just like the usual recruitment agency, but I could say that most of the talents that we are hunting are in the technical sector, in the IT workforce. And yeah, that is basically our like short description about our company and about me myself. My name is Olia. I'm one of the recruiter here at HubIn. I started last year, so it has been like a good year actually. So yeah, what I do in daily basis is just like finding good talents on like every platforms possible, and yeah, to match them with suitable companies. Yep, thank you.
Cool. What about you, Hasna?
All right, I think I might add a bit of things regarding to Hopin. So Hopin is based in Singapore, but what we do is not only limited to Singapore. We look for people throughout Asia. Even we have experience looking for people in the US. So it's really like a global kind of work that we do. And from my side, I'm Hasna. I'm also a recruiter at Hopin. I joined a little bit, a few days late, like later than Aulia. It's like 3 days difference. Yeah, so I've been here almost 1 year, but in general, I have almost 2 years of experience as a recruiter. And I think the typical days is kind of the same. So basically, what we do is getting in touch with as many people as possible so that we can match them with the best job that would be the most suitable for them. Yeah,
That's
that would be all.
awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. So, okay, moving on to today's job application, and we have a lot of questions that we're going to ask. First question: what is the secret sauce for a candidate to get noticed by a recruiter?
Well, I think this might be like a universal thing, but to be able to be get noticed by recruiter, I think what you have to prepare is the first thing is would be your CV, and make it a good CV. And by good, I mean that make it readable. I think people usually make it a bit complicated, like to put some designs and then put a big picture of yourself, and also with a lot of things that might or might not be relevant to the job that you're applying to. But by a good CV, I mean that it has to be readable, it has to be simple, and it has to be having information that we're looking for when we are looking at the job description, and then we're looking at your CV. That has to be something that fits in each other. And then after that, I think the next one would be LinkedIn profile. This is the might be might or might not be very important, because right now I think people use this a lot to look for jobs, and as a recruiter we use it a lot to look for candidates. And in making a good LinkedIn profile, I think what's most important is to have description in your experiences, and make it briefly but have a lot of information. So what you did in that experience, where do you work, and who do you report to, how big is the team, and what's your role on that specific job that you did. I think that's the two of the things that are important. But if I can add some more, I think you can also try to reaching out to us so that we actually notice you. So I think connecting with recruiters is really great for your profile too. Yeah, so that we can, I think recruiters are more than happy to make sure that we can provide you with the jobs that we have. And if we don't have the job that would be suitable for you right now, I'm sure that in the future we might have one for you, and then we can reach out back to you.
Okay, that's awesome insight. So you've talked about it. We talk about the CV and also the LinkedIn
Mm-hmm.
and reaching out to recruiters. Just to confirm, because I do want to make sure it's clear for me and it's clear for everybody's watching. Do resumes that you guys are working on a daily basis actually scanned by someone, or is it an automated process?
Mm. Okay, so if we're talking about automated, then we're going to talk or software like basically that are not done by human, right? And
Right,
here
right.
in and here in recruitment world, we have some sort of like ATS. It's like a applicant tracking system. It's actually like a system or software that helps recruiters in all steps of recruitment. So starting from job post, filtering the resume, like scanning them, and also acting like as a database, keep all the resumes that we have gotten for. So it will be easier for us to learn the CV again once we need it. And moreover, ATS is widely known, one of the widely known main functions of ATS is actually to do the initial filtering, right? Like, so here's the thing, like most ATS features are powered by AI, so artificial intelligence. So they will be looking for specific keywords in your resume. So for example, we are looking for Java engineer, and there are tons of resumes coming in, and then we can set it on the specific ATS that we can only shortlist the ones who contain Java in the resumes. So it will be like way easier. So that's why the term of ATS friendly resumes exist, if you ever heard of it. So yeah, you can like easily find a good formats on Google, I believe, in terms of ATS friendly resumes. But
Yeah.
yep, and however, here in Hubin, we're still like manually screen them. We're still like doing it one by one, manually, each of us in the recruitment team. So mostly we use ATS for database only, right, Hasna? Right, Hasna?
Yep.
Right, like
Mm-hmm.
store all the CVs that we got from applicants. But it's tied to big companies like MNC, multinational companies that are like hiring for several jobs at a time, right? So they will be getting like thousands of resumes in a day, and it will be impossible to scan them manually. It will be extremely time consuming to just spend days to do the initial screening. So I think it's safe to say that if you apply to big companies, the one who see your resume first is not a human recruiter, it's actually a system, but it's not a good thing as well. But it can be like be more efficient, but there are several downsides as well. Like you can lose like highly qualified candidates because like you use you use a software that could be lacking as well. But overall, most big corporation use ATS in terms of like do the initial filtering only. Yep.
Wow, wow. That's a great insight. So, you talk about the ATS friendly system, and like the CV, and then you mentioned about resume as well and LinkedIn. I have a little questions like, what is the right way for a candidate to communicate it very clearly on the resume? Do you have any tips for that?
Mm. Okay, so I agree with Hasna earlier that people always, most of people like think that they need to do like their resume as creative as possible. Like actually, it could be very simple as long as you can. It contains all the qualification that you have, all the previous job description, that the recruiters can see all of the things that they need to know about you. Yep. So, but it really depends on the job that you're applying. So, for example, if you're applying for like more creative jobs, then the design is, I think, most of the important thing that a recruiter can see. But in terms of technical, I don't think it's a necessary thing to pay attention to. Like, you can just like make it as simple as possible as long as it's easy to read. it contains all the necessary information about you.
Cool. Do you have any more nothing to add, Hasna?
Sure. So Alia mentioned about like creative industry or creative role that requires you to have like designs and make a pretty CV. And I think that is a great addition. And also don't forget to attach your work like portfolio or your previous projects to the CV, or maybe even better that you can create your own website and then you can just link the website through your CV. I think that is one of the things that I can add. Yeah.
Yeah. Regarding CV as well, like about an experience, and
Mhm.
usually for a candidate, how long, should you put your experience on your CV? Is it like 10 years experience, or you have to put all of your, like, let's say 20 years experience, or do you have any like advice?
Okay, in terms of like details of years of experience, I think it's better that to make it relevant. I think if we, let's say you are applying for a CTO role, then maybe you are going to be expected to be have to having like a leadership experience and managing experience. So your previous work that you started maybe like in the first years of your graduates, so I think it's going to be like software engineering or maybe DevOps engineering. That wouldn't be as much as relevant as the one that you did as a manager, as a leader, or as a tech lead, or even like a senior software engineer. Yeah. So I think make it just make it relevant to the role that you're applying to or the job that you're looking for.
Okay, cool. So let's like moving on to the next question, and let's pretend that for whatever reasons we got into the interview process after, let's say, the referrals and after the submitting the resumes and like hours of interview. As a candidate, what are some do and don'ts throughout the interview process?
Oh, that's actually interesting. Okay. So I think the most important thing that you can do is to get to know yourself better. So get to know yourself, what you can do and what you are lacking on, and what's your previous experiences, and practice that to communicate it to the other person. So for example, that, oh, I was a marketer, so I need to be better at this and that. Because sometimes a recruiter has this questions where they ask about like what is your strength and weakness, and that will be like a good opportunity for you to be able to tell them without having them to see that you are weak and you can't learn more on some of the stuff that you still need learning. And the second one is to be honest. So because everything that you said in an interview process will be something that you will work on. Actually, this is like a funny story that me and Aulia has experienced. We encounter a few times with scammers. So I think we encounter them around 4 to 5 times in total, right, Aulia? Yeah, so it wasn't a nice experience. So yeah, so be honest on what you can do and what you cannot do, really. So, and also about your experience, because trust me, we know when you are lying, and it wouldn't be good in your career path as well. Okay. And the third one is to be confident. So you know your experiences, and you also know that what the recruiters are looking for. So the last thing you should do is to be confident. And it means that you don't have to be afraid to talk about yourself and your experiences. And if you're applying to a role that might be more senior than what you can do, it's okay. You're getting to the interview process, meaning that the recruiter is already interested in you. So just be confident in what you can do and sell yourself as good as possible. And I'm sure that we will really appreciate it, because sometimes we find that people are hard to communicate with. So they only talk a bit about themselves, and then they only talk very brief about the experiences. And it's hard for us to make a rapport on what you're talking about. Okay, and that's the do's. And the don'ts is, as much as we want you to talk about your experience, we don't want you to share too much irrelevant information as well. So like personal experience, your personal experience, or even like your address, or even your childhood memories, I think that wouldn't be necessary in an interview process. And the second one is to this is might be like an unpopular opinion, but we will really appreciate it if you don't talk too fast because we are typing as we are talking to you. So it's kind of a bit hard when you talk really fast. Yeah, I think that would be all from my side. Aulia, do you want to add anything?
Mm, okay, sure. So I think one of the things that the job seeker could take note is make sure to know like the job scope or the job that you're applying. Nothing complex, though. Just like understand the main responsibilities beforehand. So if you come to the interview completely clueless, you will not giving not like good impression. So yeah, make sure to understand the job scope. I think yeah, because
Wow.
we came across some candidates that are coming like literally useless, like what is the role about, what is the if we're interviewing like the technical candidates, what is the languages, programming languages for this role, what is the job scope, something like that. And yeah, I think the candidate can do better. Yeah.
Right. Wow. So that's the tips for how to kick ass, do and don'ts throughout the interview process. And more speaking about the interview, do you also look for candidates that perhaps have the same visions as a company since you guys are working with a lot of, or let's say various clients, and of course you are like learning from their vision and like to find the person. Does that actually important for you about the vision and the value from the company? Is that very important to you?
Sure, of course. So I think some of the company even put their values and visions on the JD, so the candidate would look through that and they can decide by themselves whether or not they are interested in the same vision or values. But as I think we are like more on the agency recruiter, right? So we are not actually on every of the company. So we can't really tell what are the culture like, what the work environments like. That's why I think with us, you should ace in talking about your experience and your skills. And then on the hiring manager interviews, you will ace more on the visions and the culture side. Yeah.
Of course, that's important. But what if, let's say someone doesn't really match with the criteria? Do you have anything to like, let's say, consider this person? How is the process on that?
Mm.
Oh, sure. Olga, do you want to answer this?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so actually, it's not rare like coming across a candidate that are actually not suitable for the specific role. And basically, what we do is, since we are a recruitment agency, right, we have a long list of vacant position, and we can like easily like brief them about another position that might suit them better, something like that. So yeah, we what we do is actually like to give like basically like consultation about their career, like oh this role is actually not too suitable for you, however we have this one. And most of the time they will be like interested like to explore that uh, another role that we suggest them. Yeah.
Cool. What
Anything
about
to add?
you, Hasna?
Yeah, I agree. So I think not every like we have every company has their own like JD and the job scope, and not everyone that like years of experience is different in every other people, and sometimes people with like the same years of experience have different set of skills. Right. So yeah, I think if we can't put the candidates in the job that they're looking for, we always have like job spares that we think might be suitable for them. So yeah, it's more of like a matchmaking situation really. So if A isn't good for them, then we will try B, C, D, up to Z that we think might be suitable for them better.
Right. Speaking of like matching talents, do you think it's like
Mhm.
challenging for you to like finding a one, or what is the challenge that you guys are like facing?
In sourcing and matchmaking, of course, I think because we are most focused on like tech talents, and mainly we are looking in Singapore, and as we know, Singapore is not that big of a country. So yeah, I think the challenge mostly is to find the right person that is looking for job. I think that's the most challenging one because sometimes we will find a lot of people who will be suitable for the job, but they don't always open for new opportunities, right? Because some people wants to be in a company for like 4 to 5 years. But yeah, I think the challenge is to look for candidates that are actually looking for jobs.
Yeah. Yep, agree on that. So yeah, basically, we are recruiting like basically like all over the world, but most of the roles that we are currently working on are in Singapore. So that is what currently what happened. And as we know, the tech talents, it's always like the demand is always greater than the supply, right? So it's always hard to find interested candidates, especially in this startup bubble going on at the moment. And I could say that almost our clients are startup, and people are trying to not to really engage in the startup nowadays because it's currently like seen as a unstable sectors at the moment. But yeah, I think it's going to be better in the near future. But that is like a current situation nowadays.
Okay, that's cool. So since Hubbedin is a consulting firm for companies who's like looking for a tech person or like tech people out there, do you guys have any like word of advice for anyone interested in working in tech industry?
Okay. So advice, right? So I think we all agree that technology industry is like the fastest growing, fastest changing, and possibly the most demanding sector at the moment. And with that being said, a lot of people are interested to get in. And especially nowadays, we all know that IT degree is actually isn't necessary for entering the IT workforce, right? However, it's definitely a must to learn about the relevant tech skills before entering the job, like doing the job, right? And what I could advise is actually like studying in a boot camp. If you like maybe you can like came across on LinkedIn or any social media, there are a lot of boot camps academy that are like offering multiple skills to learn, like in terms of technical, like full stack developer bootcamp, backend developer bootcamp, and UI UX bootcamp, digital marketing bootcamp. So yeah, but one downside about them is actually like cost a lot, and you need to commit because I heard that it will take at least 3 to 6 months to learn, and could be longer though. So yeah, it costs a lot. It's you need to be committed. But yeah, I think uh, however, I think bootcamp is one of the most effective way to get into IT workforce if you don't have that IT degree. Since if you get, I think there's another way as well. It's like getting a free certification or paid certification, and then the time frame is way shorter than doing bootcamp. But I think doing bootcamp is more effective since you can learn a lot of things starting from the basic to the advanced level. So yeah, I think yeah, those two boot camps, and also get engaged to like free certification or paid certification. So make sure to learn the relevant skills before applying to a technical job. Yeah, that's all from my side. You have anything to add, Hasna?
Not really about like the tech jobs, because that's more on the like developers and engineers. But if you want to get to the tech industry, we're not only looking for developers, we are also looking for like marketing recruiters. So I think if you want to get familiar, there are a lot of resources out there to get familiar with the tech itself. But yeah, developers and engineers isn't the only way that you can get to the tech industry. There are a lot of jobs out there that they also need, actually. Yeah.
Right, that's awesome advice. One last question. Where can people find you and learn more about you?
Mm. I think it's through LinkedIn. All I could say is LinkedIn is actually way powerful than you think. So LinkedIn is actually like your digital CV. All recruiter can access your profile, can approach you through LinkedIn, and you can like explore the jobs that you haven't heard before, something like that. So it's a please just make use of your LinkedIn. So yeah, just like complete your profile and connect to all the recruiters, follow all the companies, and you can definitely reach out to us on LinkedIn. Follow our company at Hubbedin, and yeah, you can connect with us easily.
What about you, Hasna?
Yeah, you can also connect to us on LinkedIn. My name is right here and Aulia is right there. You can just look it up on LinkedIn. And other than that, you can also sign up to our website. We already have the website, and all you have to do is just sign up there and then upload your CV. And then every now and then we will review the resumes they just got in, and we can find the role that might be suitable for you. And if we do have one, we will absolutely reach out to you through, usually it's going to be through WhatsApp. So yeah, just make sure that it's always open.
Right, that's awesome. So don't forget to reach out, Hasna and Alia. You can reach out to them through LinkedIn. Also, don't forget to sign up for Hubbedin, hubbedin.com, complete your profile, and then one day they're going to contact you. Hasna and Alia, this has been an amazing podcast interview. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you for having us actually.
Thank you, Aji.
Thank you, thank you. I'm sure everyone will learn a lot from this podcast. And thank you so much again. I will see you guys next time.